Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to go over how the fretboard is laid out on the guitar. If you're a total beginner or have been playing for a while and you still don't have this thing memorized or it's kind of a mystery to you, this is going to be an extremely insightful video. Now, I'm aware that there's a lot of people online that say that you can become a great player, you can play like a pro, no theory required, and I don't know who's more ridiculous, the people who believe that or the people who say that to then sell their stuff. I don't understand. But if you really actually want to learn to play the guitar and be good at it, you're gonna need to know how the thing works. I know, this is crazy. So what we're gonna do in this video is I'm gonna break it down. This is gonna be, again, it's a very beginner lesson on the fretboard, but we're gonna get how this thing works. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff, okay? So let's get going. All right, so the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You just go to G and then you start over. That's it. All right, so I'm going to write that down really quick. That's the nice thing about music. It's very simple. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We only go to G in the music alphabet. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You get it, all right? So that's going to be the one thing that I need you to know and learn on this video. We go to G and then it starts over. In fact, on your guitar, this is why there's little two dots right here, or something special on the 12th fret, as you can see on this fretboard that I have here, right here. And I'm going to write this down. If this was an A note on the 5th string, one, two, three. Oop, I'll just write them up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5th string sounds like that. It's this one. This is also going to be an A note. You can barely read that. A. All right, now, to get a little nerdy with you, so you can think of it like this. A legend says that Pythagoras the Greek, many, many years ago, found that if you have a string and you cut the string directly in half, it'll actually sound exactly the same, just higher pitch. What's happening is it's vibrating exactly twice as much. So, for example, if we had, I'm just making this up, don't worry, I'm keeping it nice and easy for everyone. If this note right here vibrates at 100 times a second, this one is 200, and then that one, 400. Does that make sense to you? All right, so you can also think of it like so. If we had a vibration going twice as fast, then they like line up perfectly. I'm not good at drawing that stuff. Okay, so you got that. Now I'm going to write down the notes. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and now we're right back to A, and this is going to be A, oh geez, A, B, C. Easy peasy, right? Now, you're probably wondering, wait a second, why did you skip some of those frets while you're doing this? Well, that's going to be the next thing that I want you to know and understand, that in music, there is a note, a special note in between every note, except for the B and C and the E and F. Okay? So what if I did this? I'm going to make these guys, I'm going to make them special. We're going to make those blue. Could you handle that? Okay, this is why, for example, on the piano, you see you have all those white notes, and then you got those little black ones. The black ones are the special ones, and I'm going to write those up right now. We'll do these in green. So we're going to call it, it's an A note, but it's A sharp. Hopefully you can read that okay. Let me zoom in. We had an A, and then we had an A sharp note. So it's like an A note, but it's a higher pitched A. Likewise, we're going to have a C note, but it's a higher pitched C, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp. Are we okay with that? So I could write that here and be like, this is an A sharp, C sharp, and I think you get that. But for right now, I'm actually going to leave those out. I just want you to understand that. What we're going to do, though, is when you tune the guitar to standard tuning, we tune it in a specific way, and it goes like this. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Now, all we're going to do, we've already discussed this, we're going to go up here. This is the heavens of music, right? We're going to draw from there. So watch this. We're only going to do the naturals. Let me erase that line here. So we'll start here. E, there's no space after E, so we're going to go F. There is a space after F, so we'll skip it. And then G. There is a space after G, and then we start over at A. There is a space after A, so then we go B. But there is, that's one of the special ones. I should have done this in blue. B, and then C, right? There's a space after C, so we skip and we go D. Skip, E. And you see, E, E. Very good. All right, continuing on. Now, the next string, the fourth string, this one, we start on the D note, and let's do the same thing. And ideally, you do this with me here. So I realize some of my videos are a little bit longer, but it's because I just don't want to like quickly go over a bunch of stuff and have you entertain for 5 minutes, and then you leave the video and you didn't actually learn anything. Ideally, you got a piece of paper and you're doing this with me. All right? So, here we go. D, space, and then E, F, space. All right, there's the G. We start over. There's A, space, B, C, space, D. All right, next one. And here we go. G, space, there's A, space, here, B and C, space, B, space, E, space, G, B, space, B, space, E, space, G, space, B, space, E, space, F, G, space, B, space, E, space. Okay, so now we see that we have everything laid out, and we didn't put any of the sharps in there. And yes, if you're familiar with music, I didn't go over this in the very beginning because I didn't want to overwhelm you, and I hope I don't overwhelm you right now by saying this, but I could go like this and say that A sharp can also be called a B flat. Whoa. One note, two names. It sounds exactly the same. Again, if you speak English, if I said the word sun, what am I talking about? Am I talking about someone's little kid or the sun in the sky? Context is what matters, right? So if you're saying a sentence and you say that word, we will know what you're talking about. So that's kind of how I explain that to people. Let's not get too carried away with that, though. We'll talk about it later. All right. Okay, now I'm going to go over to another diagram. I wrote this one out, and this one has everything laid out already. Boom. Okay. So this one has all the sharps in there. I didn't want to lead with this one because I didn't want to get too overwhelmed, but you can see that in blue, I did already take care of those, the E and the E, like that. And we could go and be like, okay, there's your F, G, A, B, C, D. See the B and the C right next to each other. E and the F. Do you also notice how those things like to follow each other? That's kind of cool. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, bada boom. Okay, so when you play the guitar, we're essentially, like, this is the cool thing, the fun thing about the guitar. It's also the difficult thing. A piano's all laid out like one little string, and they just play on that little string. The guitar, we have 6 strings, right? Da 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 da. They're tuned a little different, and then we play them all simultaneously, right? So it's a little trickier than just how the piano's laid out, which is why the piano tends to be used when, like, with music theory, when you're learning music theory, because it's a bit more obvious how things work. But as far as we're concerned, we're guitar players. We don't care about the piano as much. Let's learn music theory on the guitar. All right. So there is that. And it makes the guitar a lot of fun. There's a lot of depth to it. Can also make it kind of tricky to learn that fretboard. And one of the big mistakes that people use or do when they try to learn the fretboard is they'll do this. They will go like, okay, I'm going to learn all of these notes, and then all of these notes, and all of these notes, and they never learn the fretboard. It's freaking boring, and that doesn't work. Or they'll be like, okay, well then I'm going to learn all the notes on each string. And they'll always be counting up. That also doesn't work, and it's freaking boring, and they'll like do it like a couple days, and then they'll stop doing it because they won't see really any results, and it's really boring. Okay? Now, what you're gonna do though is, because that's gonna be the next thing, is okay, we gotta get this fretboard memorized. And here's what I want you to do. One, you need to memorize the names of the strings, obviously, so when you can tune your guitar. And the 12th fret. It's the same thing. That should be pretty simple. And then the last thing, as far as this video is concerned, I also want you to memorize the 5th fret. By the way, some of you may know this, but when you tune the guitar to itself, boom, boom, boom. That one doesn't work because the B's right there, but boom. Okay, so let's recap on everything that we learned so far. I'm going to go over to this other page here. So we learned, what did we learn? We learned the music alphabet goes to G and then it starts over. I won't go over every teeny tiny thing we learned because we learned a lot of stuff in this video. But we learned that the music alphabet starts over at G. We learned that halfway on the guitar, the 12th fret, the sound starts over. All right, so whatever the open note is, that will be the 12th fret as well, okay, because of the length of the string. We also learned that there is a note in between every single note except for B and C and E and F, okay? And then you got some homework, and you're going to memorize the open strings, what you tune to, and I actually made that super easy. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Very simple. And that's the same thing on the 12th fret. And then I also want you to memorize the 5th fret. All right, so that's what you're going to do. But we already know a bigger problem, being like, okay, cool, you do that, but what about everything else? In one of the next videos, I'll probably put a link in the description, not probably, I will, of the best drill that I've found to learn all the notes and not only learn them, but have it be usable in real musical life. So if you're playing the guitar and you need to find something really quickly, you can do it and not be like, wait a second, I can find it if I like count up to it. That's not going to work, okay? Cool, so I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, be sure to like, share, subscribe. And if you would like me to make a video on anything else in the future, definitely let me know, and I will put that at the top of my list. All right, so great. We'll see you in the next video.